We are here with Shadia Mansour and at Forte Prenestino for Dynamo Press. And Shadia, okay, first thing is how it's to be here in Rome and to sing in this place.
First of all, it's good to be back after 2 years. I recognize a lot of faces, so I feel like I'm with family here. So that feels good, first of all. And secondly, I got my brothers here, Bono and M1, and that I'm excited to do a show with them in Italy, especially with Bono, because this is his home country. So yeah, it feels good. I'm looking forward to it.
And we would like to ask you, how come, since you talk, you grew up in England, how come did you decide to sing mainly in Arabic?
Because I think growing up in the West, in England, I felt like there was something pulling me away from my identity, my culture. Because the school I go to, we speak in English, with English, everything is just English. So I wanted to go back to my roots and feel comfortable in, with my identity as an Arab in the West, in the diaspora. So I feel like speaking in Arabic made me feel closer to my country, to the cause, to the struggle. So I just, it happened by chance. I used to go to protests in London, like pro-Palestinian protests, and I used to sing like Fayrouz songs, like old nationalist songs. And then it just went from there. I just basically from singing to rapping in Arabic. So I started singing in Arabic, and when I started rapping, I continued in Arabic. So.
Okay, and so you said you are person from you grew up in England, being a diaspora of the Palestinian.
Yeah.
So and you went back to sing then in the Palestinian territories. How it was to be there in the territories, and how you think that your music can help the fight?
Well, I go anyway. It wasn't my first time because my family are from there, my cousins and uncles, aunties. So I go regularly. I used to go to see my family and stuff. When I started performing my songs in the West Bank, it was like I was very nervous because I was used to performing in front of English crowds. So most people didn't understand what I was saying. So. I felt that this is now I have to being put to the test. So it was initially that feeling first, and then after it was like people. I could see that this movement, hip hop movement, was growing in Palestine, and people were accepting it as well. The community was accepting it as a independent genre. And a music of coming out of oppression and the struggle. So it was a proud feeling to be able to bring my songs to the place where I've been singing about for all my life. Yeah, and that's really, I guess, so far. Yeah. And
well, the last question we want to ask how it's to be. As well, a woman in the rap music that is completely hegemonized by men.
Well, this is the thing. When I came onto the hip hop scene, Arabic hip hop scene, I was motivated by, encouraged by men. So it was a different experience for me. It was the men were telling me, the guys that I was rapping with at the time, I was. Singing with, were saying, oh, you should, let's do some songs together, so I had that encouragement from, the opposite sex, but for me as a woman performing in the conservative communities, so in the communities that are still not very familiar, they're not accepting what hip-hop really is, they still think hip-hop, not all of them, there's just small minorities, you know, that are in our community that still think hip hop is what they see on MTV, or you know, like we're just not talking about anything, and you know, it's basically, that is a challenge because I'm a woman. It's a challenge for a man, an Arab man, to get up on stage in his village or you know in a camp and sing in the style of hip hop, our style of rap, and be accepted because our culture, this is new to our culture, this style of music. So as a woman, I feel like it's an equal battle, you know. Okay. In hip hop, I just feel like more women, the challenge is not because men dominate hip hop, Arabic hip hop, it's because our community, our society does not let, you know, there's not enough females that are, let me say, that feel like it is, you know, something they could do as a profession or something they could do freely without having to think about, oh, I have to do my law degree first, or I have to do my doctor, you know, degree, my PhD first, or which I think education should come before anything, even before music. But you know, it's I think that the battle is the, you know, fight the society, not just men in hip hop.
It's not only the hip hop scene, but it's the society itself.
Exactly. I think we have the Arabic hip hop scene is a different atmosphere. It's a different environment than how the American hip hop scene was at the time. I don't think that there's any such thing as even when hip hop started in the Bronx in the 70s, late 70s. Women were not told, no, don't rap by other rappers. It was mostly society that was challenging, you know? It was mostly like society that was challenging all of the rappers. They were challenging hip hop and rap as a whole. There was just, you know, what happened is now in hip hop, in the mainstream hip hop, there is sexism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's mostly men that are, you know, that you see the stuff that is happening, that these big corporate labels are supporting. They're putting thousands of dollars, millions, to support, you know, chauvinistic hip hop, and they are not hip hop fans, and they're not. This is not for the love of hip hop, and this is not for the love of hip hop, you know, MCs, male MCs, or for the love of female MCs. You know, I think hip hop, male and female, are being challenged, are being attacked. You know, so they face the same struggle, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Well, then, thank you.